Winter is a great time to learn something new, from cooking to crafts to car maintenance, and Moorhead Community Ed has a class for everyone. Can you tell me, what are some of the things I can find in here? And from my understanding, there's things for all ages, right?
They really are.
Skill
There's
levels.
youth classes, and one of the reasons John David is here, because he teaches youth classes, adult classes, and choices, which are our classes for adults with disabilities.
Yes.
And so he really teaches across all of our demographics.
Now, we had just kind of discussed this a minute ago, but could you tell us, John David, some of this artwork is yours.
Yes, it is.
Some of it you did. Which of these? And
Okay.
can you tell us about the process?
Hi, John.
Hello. Let me turn this volume up here. Let me pause what I'm watching. I'm watching a video game long play on YouTube. Have you watched any of those?
No.
Okay, you probably won't, but still, it's
Probably not.
so many people are like, do you remember this video game? And do you remember that video game? Do you remember doing this? Do you remember doing that? Like, no, I didn't commit that to memory. I do apologize. And so I watch these video game long plays, and it's just a person playing the video game from like 1991, just to reacquaint myself.
All right. That sounds terrible. That whole notion of like watching someone else play a video game, that's like watching paint dry to me. I just don't care.
So I do believe I was just supposed to talk about kind of leadership and, yeah, I suppose the arts, but I guess I'm asking in a way for sort of advice. I'm finding that people are calling me a leader, and they're asking me, like, they need me to be a sort of leader, and it's just, and this came up at the event was it the FMCT, where they were honoring individuals in the community. And I saw you there. You were speaking after I had been on a panel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and so like they were honoring me as a leader, and it's like I told the crowd, it's like, I just don't know how to be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Okay, I guess I'm lucky. I'm totally lucky. I don't know how to be afraid. Typically, I don't have access to that feeling. So I can just walk into spaces, and I don't know how to be nervous. I don't know how to be embarrassed, and so people just, I guess, start to presume that I'm a leader, and it's like I'm just doing things, and it's like, well, everybody else is scared to do it. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I get paid.
And then there were so many people asking me for advice after that, and that's how it sort of started.
Okay.
And now it's been more kind of like, well, yeah, can you have conversations with this person, or can you have a conversation with this person?
And so I had worked on that comic book and that poster for a comic book class that I do teach. Okay,
wow.
I did write it, and I found artists in South America.
South America. That's amazing.
Yes.
Hey, can you talk on this panel?
And then, yes, I did publish this book here, and I did write it, and I found an artist.
Where's my mess?
Yes, Where's
Very
My
nice.
Mess? Yes.
Hey, can you headline this?
Oh, very
this
nice.
album and this album I recorded, I performed, recorded, and produced, and I designed.
Very
more
talented.
work, and I teach all of that, or instruct about all of that.
Hey, can you host that? Hey, can you? And it's just been growing and growing, and it's great. It's really, really great. But it's just kind of like, wow, is that how fast it happens, that people get behind you or get behind a person?
I would say the short answer is yes and no. And I will tell you why I think both of those things.
Okay.
I think there is a shallow level of following And then there is the intentional work of the person who feels that they are in this new leadership position, also known as you.
Sure.
There's the intentional work to say, all right, so I have some instincts, I have some experiences, I have some outside atypical thinking that's going to allow me to find myself in positions where I either intentionally or unintentionally I'm taking a leadership position. And in your case, I think it's most often unintentionally.
Yes, I do.
But it doesn't matter. You're finding yourself there. So the no is, no, it doesn't happen for other people because most people don't show up guileless.
Sure.
You don't have a lot of guile. So it depends what your purpose is, it depends what your outcomes are, and it depends what you need according to your job description, how you feel about yourself, all those kinds of things.
Sure.
So that's a super long answer to yes and no.
While attempting to be myself or authentic self, okay?
Yep.
And so when I get asked, what's your angle? When I'm endeavoring to be authentic, it's like, at first, I really did not know what I was supposed to respond. What I was supposed to say to that. I was like, I started thinking about geometry. I took it literally.
Right.
I'm a very literal minded. Yeah, so I started thinking about angle.
Isosceles,
I walk a certain way
yeah.
that, and I just, it wasn't computing.
Yeah.
Since then, yeah, I get what I'm being asked now. What is my agenda? What is my goal? I suppose I'm being asked, what's in it for me, maybe. Sometimes what's the angle,
Sure.
as if it's a con too, sometimes.
Right.
And so that's what I found out, really thinking about it. And so I just tell people I don't have an angle, I do have a purpose, and that is to make certain that I do the most good, as often as I can. And it sounds very Mr. Rogers. That's what people start calling me. It's like they keep saying, you're a lot like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, how is that a bad thing? He
And
did remarkable work. It's
when
not like they're saying you're a lot like Jeffrey Dahmer. We live in a very gray world that would like to define itself as very black and white.
Yep.
So on a much smaller, lesser important scale, I'm left-handed. Are you left-handed, John? No. So we live in a society that says right-handed is the only way to be. And so if you're left-handed, too bad for you. We're the dominant hand. We've designed all of our railings, all of our doors, all of our buttons, our zippers, our scissors, our knives, You name it, we've designed it for right-handed people. Suck it up and get in line. And largely I do. Largely I muddle through in a right-handed world as a super left-hand dominant human being. And so a perfect example, if I'm out at a meeting, I'm carrying my phone, a pen, a coffee mug, and maybe a book in my right hand, always.
Sure.
What hand do we shake hands with?
The right.
So then I have to do this. Oh, I'm sorry, just a minute. And I have to put everything in my left hand. And then I have to explain to people that I carry everything in my right hand because I'm left hand dominant. And if I fall, I'm going to use my left hand to reach. Well, it's crazy, but that is the world that we live in. We don't live in a 100% right hand world, but we live in enough of a right hand world that those of us who don't align that way just have to figure it out.
When we watch a story, or in your case, when you build a story, you're kind of channeling your own feelings about things, or you're seeing things that relate to you personally. And that's a really good way to, do some healing or to really dig in deeper and grow as a person, I think. Well, thanks so much for joining us. This is amazing. I'm very impressed by what you guys do, and I'm so excited to get involved in some classes myself.
Thanks for having us, Anna. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I congratulate you on doing this work. I think it's really important. And I know that you aren't doing it from any place of ego or need. So it's interesting to think about what it would be like to go through the world with no ego and very little need.
Or want. and there's a name.
Or want. My
I-
gosh, John, if I didn't spend time wanting things, I would free up like 23 and a half hours a day.
I know, and that's why I get so much done. And people are like, "Hey, you're a great leader." It's like I just don't just sit, I just am. Okie dokie.
There we go.
Well, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Successful people are successful for one simple reason. They think about failure differently.
If you expect something even moderately more interesting, you have to plan for it. You have to think about it, and you have to at least dream about it. Even if you don't plan for it, you have to dream about it. But if you're not intentionally breathing, you're not really figuring out what your dream is and how you're going to take the first step to get there. Not the 400th step, the first step. It takes a breath and a step. It's the way a good actor is successful on stage. It's a way a good human is successful in life.
This topic isn't meant to depress you or make you feel bad about yourself. This is actually meant to help free you from some of the stress you might be holding on to around failure. Believe me, regardless what path you take, failure and disappointment will find you. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it's where you will learn the true strength of your character. And it's how you will build the foundation that becomes your life. And you will discover joys and successes that you cannot begin to imagine today, because those detours will take you down paths you would never have taken the opportunity to pursue. I am a personal systems disruptor. And this is the moment on the dirt road where my lightning bolt hit. I knew that I was doing this work for myself, and it was working. I could feel my system getting disrupted. But I didn't want to just do it for me. I wanted to do it for everyone and anyone who wanted it.